Today's video is for the guys out there who have something that you've been maybe thinking about, dreaming about, envisioning about, going after, and you've been thinking about it for a long time or a while. And it's one of those things where you just can't stop thinking about it. It keeps coming up. Like, for example, me with YouTube, right? Making YouTube videos. I'm pretty sure, if I remember the timeline correctly, I delayed, kicked it around, mulled it over, thought about it, and procrastinated for probably well over 5 years before I finally just said, okay, you know what? Enough with the excuses and enough with trying to come up with the perfect angle or the right niche or the right theme. I just said to myself, what can I help men with? What can I contribute to the world based upon my experiences, right? My successes, my failures, my lessons, my journey. What could I leave behind for the world that would potentially make the world a better place, or at least be able to help some men out there get to their success faster, to get to their outcome faster? And so I just turned on the camera, right? Now, I have a fancy camera, a Canon M50 EOS mirrorless camera. I've made some videos with it. I have fancy microphones, the Shure, whatever, the fancy expensive ones. I got 4 of them for a podcast that kind of sort of got started a little while back, but then I had to put a pin in it. The last 100 videos that I've made on this channel, I made with an iPhone. This iPhone, no fancy microphone, the Apple iPhone microphone that's just built in. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because I feel like we so often focus on wanting to buy the perfect running shoes before we start running, as a metaphor, right? Like, I have a box full of cool camera equipment and gear for an iPhone. When 4 years ago, I was watching YouTube videos about how to make good YouTube videos, and I was buying all these little accessories and gadgets and things for the iPhone I had at the time. Now, I have a different iPhone, and all those gadgets that I have don't even fit this phone. But I keep that box of stuff. Why? Because I like to regularly see it, and it immediately reminds me to always think about and be aware of, where in my life am I trying to buy the running shoes and find the perfect running shoes and the perfect jogging outfit or workout outfit before I start just running. As a metaphor, right? As an analogy. Does that make sense? So often we have this, I meet so many men who have this thing that they're dreaming of, that they kind of like vision board, fantasize about, and they're always watching videos about it, listening to podcasts about it, reading books about it, getting like little preparation items and things, but never quite doing the dang thing, never quite running. Man, that breeds a lot of frustration. It really does. A lot of frustration. Internal. Because you feel like that there's this thing you should be doing that you want to do. Not a should be doing it like a to-do list, but a should be doing it like your soul wants to do that. So when I started this channel finally, I said, just run, dude. And what I told myself is, your first 50 videos, just make them on the iPhone. Just talk. Talk from the heart, talk from the mind, talk from experience. Just share. Talking to the iPhone. I'm now 100 videos in, and it is now that I'm finally starting to take seriously quality of production, right? Doing something more with the fancy camera, learning how to use that better, etc. But my point is that I'm asking you to think about, what is it that you have in your life that you keep flirting with? You know what I'm talking about, right? You keep just dancing around the edges, but never quite jumping into that ocean, that next adventure? Where in your life do you have a box of things, literally or metaphorically, items collected that are going to be the nifty gear that you need and the perfect setup that you need, but you aren't doing the dang thing? Or you've got so much research and ideas and concepts and notes, but you haven't started the thing, right? Where in your life do you have a metaphorical or a literal box filled with stuff where you're preparing to prepare, but you still haven't started doing it? Where in your life are you focused on buying the perfect running shoes instead of just starting to run, and then as you become a runner, figuring out what you actually need? And if you have an area in your life like that, then the final thing I'll say is, as cliche as it sounds, and you've probably heard this before, but there's no dress rehearsal for life. This is it. This is it. This is your life. Like it's happening right now. There's no rehearsal. It's just scene, action. And the scene is from when you were born to when you die. There's no dress rehearsal, man. So if you've got something that you just can't stop thinking about, it's probably a sign that you're meant to go after it. And if it intimidates you or makes you nervous or scares you even a little bit, good. That really means that's something you should go after. Make 2025 a year that you stop collecting boxes of things that you are using to prepare. Make 2025 a year that you stop looking for the perfect running shoes. Make 2025 the year that you start the YouTube channel, the year that you start running, the year that you start doing the thing.